The 2024 Phoenix Rising season is presented by Equality Health. And it's week 9 of the USL Championship presented by Equality Health as Phoenix Rising looks to rise up, bring a little of the dark side to Sacramento Republic, one of the lone unbeatens left in the USL Championship here in the shadows of the Sky Harbor Spaceport. Want to welcome you into 38th in Washington. Killian McClatchy here, Joe Lowry. Happy May the 4th to all those who celebrate. There's all the Star Wars puns for you right at the start. Shout out to Phoenix Rising as well. Little t-shirt they're selling here today, hooking us up with it. But again, enough about the Star Wars. We got a soccer match to play, a real good one, a rematch of the Western Conference Finals a year ago. We're going to start off with our players to watch presented by the Phoenix Union School District. We're going to start off with John Stenberg for the hosts.
Yeah, John Stenberg's been immense for Phoenix. Never tell him or the rest of this Rising squad the odds. Stenberg's been back in the lineup for Phoenix since coming back from injury. He's going to be in the middle of the back line dealing with Trevor Ammon tonight.
Depending on who you ask over on the other side for the Republic, they would say Han shot first, Greedo shot first. Sacramento says Trevor Ammon shot first. 5 goals already this season.
Early and often from Trevor Ammon and Moss Eisley. This guy's been absolutely electric for Sacramento so far this season. Just his first, Killian, in the USL Championship. He was dominant in League One over the last 2 years.
Yeah, his last 2 goals, each of them have been within the first 6 minutes of the match. So keep an eye on him to see what he can do for the Republic. It's May the 4th. We're having fun up here. Phoenix Rising going to try to do the same. We got starting lineups and kickoff coming up next here from Phoenix.
There's satisfaction in sacrifice, in spilling blood, sweat, and tears, in knowing that you left it all on the floor and never threw in the towel. Well, except to clean up the mess. Giving it all for your team is worth every drop. Modelo, brewed for fans with a fighting spirit.
Huh. How long have you been tracking our car's value with Carvana?
Just like 7 months.
Should we sell it?
We hold.
Hold.
Silver vans are going for more right now. Should we?
Our low mileage is paying off. You think we should?
Hold.
Depreciation's really heating up. You think? We just did 2.5%.
Hold. Now!
I'm on it.
Already sold to Carvana.
Go to Carvana and track your car's value today.
Your health shouldn't depend on where you live, which language you speak, or the size of your paycheck. Everyone deserves access to high-quality care for a healthy life. At Equality Health, we partner with primary care providers to break down barriers to care and build healthy communities. Better health for all, the real game-winning goal. Equality Health is the season-presenting sponsor of the Phoenix Rising and proud sponsor of the Rising Community Soccer Clinics.
Tonight's broadcast of Phoenix Rising FC is presented by Equality Health, by Carvana, and by Northern Arizona University. Welcome back in to Phoenix. Phoenix Rising FC at 3-4-1, play host to Sacramento Republic FC 5-0-3. Fans getting into the May the 4th theme, just like we are, as we're going to give you the starting 11 for both sides, starting with Republic of Sacramento, a 3-4-3 tonight, Joe.
Mark Briggs goes back to the exact same 11 for the 6th consecutive game. And you know what, Killian? It has been working. Keep a close eye on Jack Gurr, number 2 there on the right side. One of the absolute best wide playmakers in the USL Championship. And then, of course, Roro Lopez in that right-sided half space.
Yeah, Gurr and Panos Armanakis, 2 of the best creators in the league. We get both of them here tonight. The host, Rising, donning the all red this evening. Here's who they're going to send out, same as last week in Rhode Island.
Yeah, not quite 6 straight, but as you said, Killian, 2 straight games with the exact same 11 from Danny Stone. Keep an eye on Panos Armanakis and Emil Cuecho in those half spaces. Emil Cuecho, of course, had the late winner for Phoenix in the Western Conference Final against Sac Republic last year, the game that sent Phoenix Rising to the USL Championship Final.
And that's something we're going to talk about a decent bit tonight, is that Western Conference Final. First time these two have seen each other since then, as we have our availability report presented by Spooner. Phoenix Rising at full strength this evening. Sebastian Herrera with a lower body injury for Sac Republic, as we are about ready to go. As the indomitable Sacramento Republic get ready to go. Los Bandidos rearing as well, and we are underway in week 9 in Phoenix. Joe, as we said, a rematch from a 2-1 Western Conference semifinal. It was a match that Sacramento Republic, they really controlled the entirety of the match. Russell Cicerone, he scored in the 31st, and then a couple late goals, an own goal, and then Emi Cuecho, as you said, in the 92nd to ultimately send Phoenix Rising and continue that big run, getting their first chance to see each other here tonight. And you know both these teams have been waiting for this one.
Yeah, you talked to Danny Stone in the middle of the week, and he talks about how, we haven't thought a lot about that playoff run. We're focused on the present, and I don't doubt that, but it's got to be somewhere in the back of your mind, especially if you're someone like Emil Cuecho starting in the left half space for Phoenix Rising tonight. Got the start last week in that 3-1 win over Rhode Island away. This is a big game for Cuecho. It was a big game in the playoffs last year, a chance for him especially to really stake a claim that, he should be one of the go-to guys in the attack.
Cuecho, with his first touch, has it taken away from him. So Traore back in the starting 11. As we've talked about it during the home matches that we've gotten to do, but so many options on the back line. Nifty footwork.
How's that?
Renzo Zambrano as the ball played up the far right side, but it's going to be too far out as we get now a special May the 4th and Star Wars themed of Lowry's Lowdown.
Yeah, folks out there can't tell. We've taken this May the 4th event and run with it for Phoenix Rising. It's all about do or do not. Emphasis on do not hit so many crosses into the box. Phoenix Rising have been 4th in the USL in crosses into the box so far this year. Can be valuable, yes, but always the most efficient way of generating goal-scoring chances? No. It's about diversifying inside the final third from Phoenix tonight. And for Sacramento, it's about protecting the Republic. They've had the best defensive record in the USL Championship this season, allowed just 5 goals. That's 0.63 goals per 90. They've got the best expected goals allowed record in the championship as well. They've been rock solid. And Killian, one of the things I'm fascinated to see tonight is how aggressive Sacramento are on the road. Generally, they're a team that likes to keep the ball. They have a lot of talent across the 11 in every line of the field at Mark Briggs' disposal. How aggressive are they going to be? How willing are they going to be to step up the field, press, to possess high up the field? And what sorts of avenues does that open for Phoenix?
Well, another question has to be, you're going into the entrance for both these clubs as a touch as Rocco Rios Novo will touch and pick it up for the first time. Sac Republic calling for a handball. Rodrigo Lopez, who was very adamant that there was one. They continue on, but you're also coming into a situation, both these clubs entering the round of 32 of the U.S. Open Cup coming up here. They both play in just a couple days, so you have to factor that in as well.
Yeah, Sacramento have a game on Tuesday against Monterey Bay, and Phoenix Rising will travel across the country yet again to take on North Carolina. Rotation's got to be in the back of the minds of both of these managers. Danny Stone said in his media availability earlier this week, we're taking this game by game. They're not trying to overthink things right now, and I'm sure that applies for Sacramento as well. But this is the time of year where fixture congestion becomes a real consideration. Still no changes tonight in either lineup from these managers.
I think that just goes to show how important this game really is, despite what they may or may not say. There's a little shove, nicely done by Traore. Push off. Also Cicerone.
I love that ball on the ground from Mo Traore into the feet of Remy Cabral. Phoenix need that runner off the back shoulder, whether it's Cuecho, whether it's one of the wingbacks cutting inside, or Panos Armanakis making that third man run. When Traore's playing that left-sided center back spot, and we saw it against Rhode Island, he's going to deliver the ball on a dime to Remy Cabral in the center. The question is who's running off of Cabral.
Julio Dortiotto touches and plays back to the center man and the captain, John Stenberg. Stenberg laying a ball through, trying to find Azokar. Azokar weaves his way around the defender. But Danny Vitiello, one of the top keepers in the league, steps up to make a play. We got a couple really good keepers here tonight, Joe, as I'm sure we'll talk about them a few times at some point, but you could argue these two, it's almost like running into the Sarlacc. They're going to catch just about anything that's thrown into it.
I knew it was coming, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't know when, I didn't know how. I knew Killian would squeeze in at least one more Star Wars pun. They're absolutely both two of the top goalkeepers in the championship. We see it week in and week out with Rocco Rios Novo. Opponents can't seem to get a penalty kick in the back of the net against Rios Novo. Saved two really on the season. A third one goes awry for the Pittsburgh Riverhounds just a couple of weeks ago. Rocco has been excellent so far in net.
Good ball, Cicerone working his way forward. He has Gurr off to his right, and he'll lay off to him. Gurr can't get there in time. Is very nicely done. Good challenge. Stepping up in front was Azokar.
It's going to be a fascinating matchup on this near side between Juan Carlos Azokar and Jack Gurr. You see those two coming together here. Azokar sliding in just before Gurr can get to that ball. Both very attack-minded outside backs, neither one at their best on the defensive end. That means there's constantly going to be space for the other.
Crossed in, but not fully out, as Traore will get a second try to get it away, as it'll find its way back to Rocco Rios Novo.
We see Sacramento Republic set up pretty high here in their 3-4-3 shape. Trevor Ammon leading that press just at the edge of Phoenix Rising's own 18.
Azokar lets that one just go over the top. Typically, we've seen already, at least though to this point of the season, Phoenix hasn't necessarily faced a club like Sacramento Republic that will press them like that. It's usually been the opposite. Phoenix has been the aggressor for the most part, especially early in matches.
Well, and that's the story coming off of last year as well. Phoenix Rising so incredibly dangerous when you give them space in behind. And that's still true this year, even as the attack tries to find its form. Giving space up in behind for Remy Cabral, who I think's at his best, slashing in behind for Edgardo Rito and Azokar, who are two very attack-minded outside backs. And for Panos Armanakis between the lines, that could spell trouble for Sacramento.
Quayshaw will lay it down, and Cicerone right next to him. Quayshaw finding his way back into the starting 11 for just the third time this season. He's primarily off the bench, as Rito gets that one, tries to turn, but touched out in a quick throw in.
And one of the reasons why we're seeing Emil Quayshaw in the lineup on that left wing for Phoenix isn't necessarily because of his work in possession, although we've already referenced that goal in the Western Conference Final last year for Phoenix. It's a lot more about his defensive work rate. So often this year I've talked about how passive Phoenix Rising have been defensively. Even now, you see them creeping up a little bit higher. Against Rhode Island, just the second start of the year for Emil Quayshaw, he was leading that press from his left wing spot, trying to get in the grill of opposing players in their own build-up phases. Quayshaw's got one of the highest and most aggressive motors in this Rising squad.
Offside from Gurr. And a reminder, fans, the USL on CBS Networks continues in May. Detroit City FC, the hot Detroit City FC, takes on the defending championship title winners in Phoenix Rising on Saturday, May 11th at 6:30 Eastern on the CBS Sports Network. Detroit City certainly a surprise in the East Coast, is looking for Cabral, and Cabral ran right into. As Cabral a little slow to get up, but he is on his feet, which is a good sign for Phoenix. Heavy collision between the two.
Yeah, you see Donovan step forward. No buts about it on that challenge against Remy Cabral. Cabral has been developing into a slightly more physical number 9 as this year's gone on. The first road game of the season against Monterey Bay really struggled to get involved. And since that moment, just the second game of the year overall for Phoenix, we've seen Cabral grow into that role as the number 9, taking a few of those lumps along the way, and he's going to be having a few more of those on the evening.
Sac Republic trying to bring it up. Felipe, quick little touch in the midfield.
And Sacramento are comfortable in these areas. They've got so much quality. You think about a guy like Roro Lopez, even Jack Gurr. Over on this right side, Russell Cicerone on the ball. There are so many players in Mark Briggs' 11 who can go ahead and break down teams as they sit deep it's one of the major reasons why the Sac Republic team is still the only undefeated team out west.
Yeah, 1 of 2 as there's a foul on Felipe. But yeah, you look at it, you've got just 2 left. You've got Charleston, which Charleston looks like an absolute machine. I don't really necessarily know if anybody's going to be able to stop them, at least to this point, as they just continue to roll along. Picked up another victory tonight. But then you've got this Sacramento Republic team that they just continue to kind of roll along. They're finding ways to win matches and currently sitting atop the West. Yeah,
and I'm really curious to see how they deal with the Open Cup fixture congestion, because we've already talked about it. Mark Briggs hasn't had to rotate this 11.
There's a slide in. Ammon trying to get over to it. Ammon on the left foot. Fires a shot low, and Rios Novo dives to his left, making a good save. Another turnover, though, is trying to step up in front of it was Timmer. But Quaisho comes away with the ball at his feet and alleviates the pressure, at least for the moment.
And we asked earlier how Phoenix Rising would deal with that more aggressive pressure from Sacramento. The early answer is not particularly well. Julio Duratioto's got a couple of turnovers in central spaces. Emil Quaisho showing a little bit of sloppiness on the ball as well. We see it again there.
Another turnovers, that one intercepted.
To go back to your point from just a moment ago, Killian, this is a test for Rising, right? And it will be a test for Sacramento as they go and likely have to rotate on Tuesday in the Open Cup. It's going to be a test for Phoenix as they likely do the same on Wednesday. This is when you start to see who the real teams are in the USL Championship. Obviously a lot of time between now and the postseason, but this is when those clearer pictures start to form.
Zambrano, a little weird left-footed shot. Not sure entirely what that was. I gave it a look. There's actually Armanakis who was on that one.
Yeah, you see Armanakis striding forward here, trying to get that quick trigger. Just doesn't make the contact that he wants with the outside of that left boot.
Looked like he was trying to decide, will he shoot or does he want to pass? Long ball played from box to box.
You see that man-to-man pressure almost, certainly on Renzo Zambrano in the midfield from Sacramento. Luis Felipe close, following him on his back. Duratioto slightly more free, dropping deeper. That's by design from Sacramento. Not nearly as concerned about the young Italian's ability on the ball at this point in his career. Would rather shut down Zambrano trying to progress the ball out of the back.
Another poor touch and another turnover from Phoenix. I mentioned as there is Connor Donovan, North Carolina native, man leads this club in clearances, one of the captains. This is a guy who joined in 2022. He started all but 6 matches since he joined Sac Republic. So turned into a staple on this back line for the California club.
He's been a rock for them, a versatile presence in the middle of the back line, a good communicator in the back. A lot to like when you watch Connor Donovan play.
Donovan chests it down to himself and plays it forward for Cicerone. Forward tries to turn and shoved off the ball. Nicely done defensively. A little back heel. Sent back, but touched out. And it will be a throw.
If you're Danny Stone right now, you're okay with how things are going in the first 13-ish minutes of this game. You'd like your team to have just a little bit more precision and a little bit of a quicker tempo on the ball in your own third. Look where the space is. There's space in behind this Sacramento Republic back line, but you're not going to have the chance to access that space if you don't give yourself enough of an opportunity to breathe, to move the ball out of pressure, to then look up and find those runners in behind.
And Danny Stone in his first year. A record of 3-1-4. Here comes Rising playing it forward. Little slip down from Quaisho as Armanakis a little frustrated after the misplay. It's been a tough opening 15 minutes for Emi Quaisho.
See Sacramento building up in their back three. You got the double pivot in front of those players. They'll push just like Phoenix, the outside center backs forward to try to overload the wings high up in the attacking half. But really the game for Sacramento is either work the ball through Jack Gurr on this right side or try to find Roro Lopez or Russell Cicerone in the half spaces so that they can be the ones, in Roro Lopez's case, feeding Trevor Ammon Or if you're Russell Cicerone, get on the ball, drive forward, use your athleticism and 1v1 ability, along with that twisted passing vision to cause problems.
Cicerone, the man who led this club in just about every statistic a year ago. As Okar takes a tumble. Trying to come through Zambrano, but he misplays it. Felipe working the ball forward. Decides to lay it off to his left, right at the edge of the 18. Ball crossed in, headed, and right down right at the waiting chest of Rocco Rios Novo. It wouldn't matter as the flag was up anyways, though.
That whole sequence starts with Luis Felipe winning the ball in midfield against Renzo Zambrano. That's a great battle to watch in the center tonight. You see the cross in from Sanchez to Roro Lopez crashing the box. Lopez, such a crafty player, one of the all-time greats in the USL. Someone who can pick up space outside the 18, but yes, also then be that crashing, late arriving runner in the box.
Roro Lopez from Santa Barbara, California, represents Mexico. It was actually Sac Republic's first ever signing as a club if you go all the way back to 2013.
He's a legend. He's a true legend of this league. We've had the chance, Killian, to see a few of those come to Phoenix or be in Phoenix over the early stages of this season. So much quality in this league, and Lopez is one of the greats.
Touchdown, an opportunity for Phoenix to put some pressure on. It will be a corner, the first corner, a Carvana corner kick of the evening. Carvana will drive you happy. As Phoenix will take their time to set up. Lopez making his 130th appearance for Sac Republic this evening.
The guy's been around.
Impressive, a career that started all the way back in 2005, starting off in the MLS with Chivas. As Armanakis readies the first corner of the night. Swing this one towards the back post, but doesn't get there as Vitiello collects it. A little overhand toss.
I don't mind that look there from Phoenix Rising on the set piece, looking for John Stenberg at the back post. He is a giant in the box, a real asset in some of those dead ball moments. The same for Remy Cabral, trying to get him into a sliver of space, or Mo Traore crashing the box. There'll be opportunities in dead balls for Phoenix.
Tortioto settling it down at least for a moment. Reminder that Select is the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship and many other elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice.
You see the run there from Remy Cabral, anticipating a potential ball in from Mo Traore. He got a couple of those balls last weekend. Mo Traore has become known for playing that nice sort of in-swinging ball on the floor, just cutting across the top of the grass. It's good active off-ball movement from Cabral.
Ball over the top, then get there, and it won't matter offside. Ito tried to get going a little too soon.
That is a twist, though, that we're seeing with this particular set of center backs. Lawrence Wyke and Ale Fonmayor, roughly equal with their ability on the ball. It's hard to argue, though, that Mo Traore and John Stenberg aren't the top two defensive options that Phoenix have in terms of their ability to influence games on the ball. Pop Marboy on the bench tonight has been a hugely valuable defensive asset for Phoenix, still very much growing into his role in possession, with Traore and Stenberg both left-footers at the left side of the center backs trio and John Stenberg in the middle. Those two are very, very good at influencing the game in possession.
Stenberg battled with Ammon there and ended up coming away victorious. Ammon took a couple spills. That was our matchup to watch tonight. One of the top goal scorers in the league and the league man for Sac Republic against the captain and the anchor in the middle. And at least to that point, chalk one up in the category for Stenberg.
Yeah, it's all about timing tonight for John Stenberg on the defensive end. He doesn't have the top speed. He doesn't have even the acceleration to keep up with Trevor Ammon. He doesn't have that to keep up with a lot of number 9s in this league. For John Stenberg, it's about using his experience and his ability to time his interventions on the defensive end to keep himself in the leader's column in that battle.
Captain started all 5 matches since returning from his off-season injury. Recovered, had to miss a little time at the start of the year. Certainly missed his presence as that ball takes a nice little hop right down to the feet of Rito. Rito tries to stop in turn, goes down, and now Rito down in a heap as Sac Republic starts bringing it back the other direction. Rito is down, and now a whistle as Rito
little mix up there with Alder Sanchez. Rito holding his hand. That right hand still outstretched. He's still on the ground.
Yeah, not a good sign for Edgardo Rito. He went down. He kind of slipped. Not sure if it was when he landed on that wrist or if he ended up just catching some studs on the top of the hand. Either way, a stoppage as they're going to tend to the Phoenix wingback.
Yeah, and that whole injury mess comes off of an ideal sequence for Phoenix with Edgardo Rito streaking in over the top. Exactly what he was brought into the Valley of the Sun to do. Unfortunate that it ends with up with Rito on the ground.
And fans, remember, when it comes to a sports injury, the unknown can be unsettling. But there is one thing that can calm that uncertainty. It's an answer. The Mayo Clinic uncovers answers every day through exploration, teamwork, and innovation. Answers that can lead to more answers and define a path forward. So if you're looking for answers related to a sports injury, you know where to go. Learn more at sportsmedicine.mayoclinic.org. As trainer still tending to Rito. The club's getting a moment to go over tactics here after the first 20 or so minutes. Sacramento seems pretty content with the way that the first 20 have gone. Danny Stone certainly having a animated conversation with his club in the huddle.
Yeah, there's opportunities for Phoenix to just be a little bit sharper. They've had space, they've had opportunities. Defensively, they've been strong so far. 0 shots to the first 20 minutes and change for Sacramento. That's a good sign for Phoenix as we see Edgardo Rito get back up to his feet. For Rising, it's about that little bit of extra precision in the final third to take advantage of the space that Sacramento is affording them.
Yeah, you saw Rito just talking to the trainer saying, just wrap me up, let me get back out there. So I think Rito trying to explain, from the way at least he's motioning, it looks like it's probably something with the wrist is when he slipped down and landed, but I'll get him taped up and get him back out on the pitch.
We've already got Trevor Ammon on the field tonight with something of a cast on his arm. Edgardo Rito maybe joining him. We get another look of this clash. Hard to say exactly what it is that gets Rito as play resumes here.
See them getting him taped back up. As Rito goes and rejoins. Ball played through. Cabral coming out as Vitiello just clears it up and puts it into the first row. Nice little header. The fan down here in the first row.
There'll be another open tryout early next year. I love that ball, though, from Mo Traore. Looking for Remy Cabral in behind. It's a little overhit, yes. But Cabral was so good at knifing into that space, whether it's 2 center backs he's up against or 3 like it is tonight. And Traore's got that left-footed distribution. There'll be opportunities for Phoenix to exploit the same sorts of spaces that we just saw a few moments ago on the Edgardo Rito run.
Played all the way in as Rios Novo shows off a little touch of his own.
There it is again.
Another ball. Rito right back at it. Freshly taped wrist. Nice little ball laid in for Quayshow. Quayshow goes down and they point to the spot. Emi Quayshow, a thorn in the side of Sac Republic.
And it all comes off of that long ball over the top to Edgardo Rito. We've seen it all season long when Rito is in the lineup. He is such a threat getting into that space. A clever little ball and just a late challenge there from Jared Timmer, shaking his finger towards the referee. Can't believe that that one's been called. Emil Quayshow getting into the box, showing off that engine. You said it, Killian. He has been a thorn in the side of the Sac Republic team.
Quayshow scored the game winner in the Western Conference Final last season in the 92nd minute And now he earns his club a penalty in the 23rd, as it looks like it's going to be Panos Sarmanakis, the man to take this penalty. Sarmanakis scored the opening goal of the season, as here's one more look.
Oh, that's a tough call from the referee. Jared Timmer, yes, coming in from behind. Difficult to tell on that angle, not a lot of contact in it. Still, the call goes Phoenix's way, and Panos Sarmanakis steps up to take.
Vitiello has only allowed 3 goals all season long. Armanakis steps up and slots it home. A little delay, and it's 1-0 to the hosts. But wait a second, they're going to call him back.
You don't see that every day. Killian, not allowed to fully stop your run-up. The referee deems that Panos Sarmanakis delayed that run-up, had too much of a pause. We're going to see this one again.
Let's see, you be the judge. I don't know about that.
You don't certainly see that called particularly often. Now a chance for Vitiello, a second chance for him, and an opportunity for some mind games on both sides.
Armanakis tries it again, and he misses just wide.
It's a break for Sacramento. Panos Sarmanakis with a similar run-up, stops himself a little earlier, then you see the delay. Just bends that one wide right, tries to go for the exact same spot, low in that right-hand corner. Sacramento breathe a sigh of relief, it's still 0-0.
So what a turn. Armanakis thinks he has Phoenix up 1-0 after putting one in the bottom left. It gets called back because the head referee says that he did stop, and then he misses just wide. So still 0-0, and Joe, we've seen plenty of penalty attempts right there on that end of the pitch, and that goal was not very friendly to penalty takers.
No, it's not. A lot more have gone awry than have gone in, to say the least, this year, Killian. Now let's see what the response is from both sides. From Phoenix, do they hang their heads? Do they look frustrated? Do they look down? Or is this an opportunity for this group to come together, to use that as a catalyst, to continue to push as they've been entering the final third, finding joy in those runs over the top, and crashing the box as Emil Quacio did to earn that penalty kick in the first place?
In, Ammon sets it down. Ammon's been held relatively quiet so far this evening. Sent through, Stenberg goes back and collects, as Quacio keeps it in.
You said it there, Killian. Ammon hasn't been particularly involved so far tonight. That really goes for all of Sacramento's front three. We see Rogo Lopez drop a little bit deeper, but Cicerone hasn't been super active, or at least not active in these dangerous spaces in zone 14 on the outside of the box.
There's Gurr, touches down, right foot, causing up the angle, and Gurr goes down. They're going to say it's out for a corner, and Gurr pleading his case for a penalty.
How's that for a recovery run from Juan Carlos Azocar? Those two are going to be going at it all night. We've seen it through the first 30 minutes. Can't win the initial ball in, but Azocar stays with the play, gets inside of Jack Gurr. You can see that right foot outstretched, just with a poke on the ball. That's a fantastic challenge from Azocar.
Carvana corner kick, this time for Sacramento Republic, their first of the evening. This is one of the spots to watch for Ammon. As it's played all the way through, they were looking, try and get it to Luis Felipe. Now trying to break off on the counterattack. Good run ahead, trying to get to Cabral, but he's offside.
That's poor from Remy Cabral. Rito streaking forward. Sacramento get him caught in that offside trap. Cabral not quite wise to it. Lets himself get a little too far ahead of that back line.
As Cabral, looks like picked up a booking for that late kick after the flag goes up. I mean, not the biggest fan of that decision. Cabral, they're both the top scorers for these two. Haven't really had many opportunities as Gurr heads it back down. Busted and touched out. Cabral with 5 goals, Ammon with 5. Both lead the clubs, both in the top portion of the league leaders.
And both in their first season in the USL Championship. Good examples from both of these clubs of going out and finding talent that can help you win now. Phoenix, of course, coming off of that win last season. Sacramento Republic always expect to see themselves towards the top of the table out west.
Correa does a nice job recovering to go get that ball as Cabral ends up going underneath the defender in a heavy fall. It was Donovan who took the spill, the man in the middle. Some words being had from the Sacramento dugout towards Remy Cabral as he comes and gives a hand to Donovan.
Yeah, you see it, he clips him there. I think Remy Cabral knows what he's doing, fighting for a little bit of edge, a little bit of breathing room on Connor Donovan. That's a foul.
Nice little back heel for Ammon. Ammon working forward, trying to find some space, and Stenberg takes him down. It'll be a free kick. That's what we talked a little bit about Stenberg, not necessarily having that burst to keep him in front. Elects to just take down the quicker and younger Trevor Ammon.
Stenberg coming in from behind here on Ammon. Free kick now in a dangerous position for Sacramento. Looks like it's going to be Roro Lopez in that right foot, although it could be Ammon as well.
Ammon hovering as he'll start to make his way towards the edge of the 18, so Roro Lopez, the lone man back, set up to take it.
Got the man underneath the wall there. You can see it behind the wall from Phoenix, trying to block off any attempted ball on the ground here from Lopez. You've got the wall as well. Rios Novo shaded to his right. Lopez's right as well.
That's Armanakis, the man laying down. Lopez, right foot, curler, back of the net. Sensational and a touch of class from Roro Lopez.
What a strike that is from Roro Lopez, one of the legends in USL history. Such a well-taken shot with that right foot. What a strike that is from Sacramento Republic's key man, finding space to Rocco Rios Novo's right, and it's 1-0 Sacramento.
His 39th goal. Wearing a Republic kit, his second of the year. In his 130th appearance, and he has his club up 1-0.
What a swing that is over the last several minutes of this game. Phoenix rise and go from thinking they're up 1-0 on that Panos Armanakis penalty kick. Sacramento Republic come down the other way and score on a dead ball of their own, and it's 1-0 to the visitors.
Now a foul as Traore taken down. The Sacramento Republic team, they just continue to grind away. 14th goal on the year. This is one of the best attacking clubs in the championship. As ball laid forward, trying to get to Cabral. Cabral with a little bit of a heavy touch, goes around one defender, now two, still on his feet with the ball. And finally has it taken away for the moment as Cabral ends up fouling the defender Nick Ross.
The timing on that third man run from Phoenix. Mo Traore is the first man. He plays the ball low on the floor to Cabral. We're going to see that combination 5 more times tonight at least. Cabral's the second man receiving. Cabral then doesn't really have anyone to lay the ball off to or to thread in behind. It's the timing of that third man movement, whether it's Armanakis or one of the central midfielders from deeper downfield or Emil Quaisho. That third man needs to be ready to play off of Remy Cabral.
Set around and 3 red tops just kind of stood there and looked at the ball as a foul as Stenberg gets taken down. As Quaisho tries to head along. A little 30-second souvenir for a fan.
I was going to say, unfortunately, you don't get to keep those as much as you want to. I think every sport killing should be like baseball. You catch the ball, you should keep it.
I don't think the equipment managers in many of the sports would necessarily agree with that. But see, I think this is getting off subject as another throw into Sacramento Republic. I feel like if you make a clean catch, it should be yours.
Oh, absolutely.
If you bobble it or it hits the ground, then you got to give it back.
All right, that's a happy medium I can get on board with. Look at you finding a compromise.
Because I'm just saying, if you can end up, you know, calmly collecting, you know, a Trevor Ammon rocket in your hands, you should be able to take that home.
Yeah, and you should be in a Phoenix Rising jersey in 2025.
And some might argue that as well.
Phoenix now less than 10 minutes in this first half. An opportunity for them to get on the board. Need to show focus in those little layoffs. Need to show real tempo and intensity with the ball. That's a good one out wide from Stenberg.
A little slip there from Rito on the far side. And Julio down to the ball at his feet. Traore going to have to step up. Sokar loses possession. Cicerone, nice job taking it away. As Quaisho,
that's well done.
Now pestering an extra touch, and it's out. Rising fans, remind you tonight, match is brought to you by Modelo. Reward for those with a fighting spirit. Modelo, the mark of a fighter.
Good turn there from Renzo Zambrano. Again, looking for the space in behind.
Headed straight down. Now Cabral, right-footed shot, curling off the post.
How was this for some venom from Remy Cabral? Just wraps that right foot around. Goes a little wider there. Danny Vitiello not especially worried about that effort. The strike, though, and the power from Cabral, something he's going to look to unleash later on in this match.
Trying to get that curled back.
See Sacramento still willing to step forward, but they're not here to aggressively engage that rising back line at this point in the first half. Up a goal, the same incentive to get in Phoenix's grill is not there right now for them. So now it's up to Phoenix. Can they find space in behind this back line? Can they get their half space guys, Quaisho on the near side, Armanakis on the far side, involved?
There's one, Cabral, and Cabral shoved down right at the edge of the 18. They say no foul. As they continue along, Danny Stone trying to let the head referee hear it from his perch in the dugout. Julio takes a turn, another slide in. Letting them play tonight.
It's a good tackle from Nick Ross in central midfield. It feels like Sacramento have won more than a few of those on the evening, and certainly more than Phoenix Rising, whether it's been Ross or Luis Felipe as that double pivot in midfield for Mark Briggs.
Chow and Donovan Cabral, they've been kind of going back and forth so far tonight. And Donovan ended up coming away the winner of that collision.
And if you're Danny Stone, I think that's one of the things you're encouraged about. Not Donovan winning the ball there, but Remy Cabral being more active off the ball as this first half has worn on. Mo Traore has been a real impact player on the left side of that center back trio, playing the ball forward, finding Cabral's feet.
Work forward, Cicerone tried to go 1-2 with Ammon, and now Ammon takes out Quayshow from behind. The man from Westminster, Colorado. One of the new faces. Northern Colorado Hailstorm. Golden Boot winner. USL League One a year ago. And 26 of them en route to the league MVP award as well.
Love that bit of interchange there from Phoenix. Armenakis dropping deep, starting to play make a little bit more. We haven't seen quite enough of that in this first half. Quayshow with a sharp touch on the ball, and then it goes backwards for Phoenix, and that's the part that's been difficult for them in this first half. Been missing that last bit, whether it's the last run or the last touch in the combination play, to really knife in behind.
One played through, nicely done, being set down by the back line and starting back the other direction. An opportunity to counterattack for Sac Republic. Left foot leaping up and getting a foot in front to knock down that ball in.
Well done from John Stenberg. Leading the back line by example there. Good defensive positioning that's crucial for him.
Kerr collides with Asokar on the near side. Two of them have put battling all night.
See Cabral and Quayshow trying to lead that press.
Foul as Gurr, a little tug of the jersey.
That is so well done from Juan Carlos Azokar. Knows that Gurr has the physical edge on him, so he gets into his grill early. Makes the first bit of contact, pushes Gurr off of his run. Does just enough to unsettle Sacramento's right-sided wingback. That's great play from Azokar.
The man from England. Came over by way of Aberdeen FC in Scotland. But traditionally at the top of the top flight.
See Panos Armenakis there a little frustrated. He doesn't get that return ball from Julio. It's been that sort of thing that's been just a beat off for Rising in this first half.
Little back heel. Nicely done, getting some room. Rito works his way forward, chipped in, trying to find Quayshow. Cabral off the outside of the boot, but not strong enough as Vitiello was there.
Remy Cabral in a little bit of disbelief there. That's nice play down the right side from Phoenix Rising. Edgardo Rito, despite the injury, has been bright in this first half. The ball just sort of falls for Remy Cabral, and he can't put that same venom that we saw about 10 minutes ago behind that strike. Vitiello claims it easily.
Hammond and Stenberg collide. This time a foul on the Phoenix captain. A few early opportunities tonight for Phoenix that they'll certainly be talking about during the halftime break as being either up one or even tied in this match.
It hasn't been a bad performance at all from Phoenix. Not a fantastic one. They haven't necessarily been the better team, but I don't think you could argue that there's been a lot between these two teams for the first 44, almost now 45 minutes of this game. Phoenix have had a couple of looks. They've had a couple of almost. The same goes for Sacramento the other direction. It's that strike from Lopez that makes the difference.
No ball searching for Rizzo, and that one will sneak just inside the flag, and it'll be a corner, another Carvana corner kick for the hosts.
As we see John Stenberg march towards the box for Phoenix. Watch him peeling off towards the back post. It's been a go-to look for Rising in 2024.
Play it short. Julio back to Armanakis. Armanakis chips in over the top of Vitiello and right across the face of goal, but it won't matter.
And who is it? Crashing at the back post. But John Stenberg, it's on sort of the second phase here after that initial short corner. Stenberg tries to play it across. You see Funmayor react just a little too late, but again, Phoenix looking dangerous in those dead ball moments. That's been a theme throughout 2024, and we've certainly seen it in the first 45 minutes tonight.
Vitiello will jog on over, collect the ball that was
nice of him.
Waiting on the pitch. You say that's nice of him. He's gone, you know, another 15
a few seconds here, a few seconds there, as he should. As he should. The savvy play.
Roro Lopez with the difference here in the first half. On a sensational free kick that's given Sac Republic the 1-0 lead as we count down the seconds in this first half. Quaisho tries to get around, gets taken down from behind, no foul. Cicerone looking up, tries to thread one through to Ammon, but nothing coming of it. As Rios Novo has to quickly play it as he was pestered right away.
Time for maybe one more good build for Phoenix before that halftime whistle. They continue to try to target the space on the wings outside of that narrow, whether it's the front three or the midfield two for Sacramento.
Quaisho pass right into a collection. 4 of his opponents as Sac Republic seems very content to let this get to the halftime break.
Yeah, Mark Briggs goes into halftime. There's more that he wants from this team, but at the same time, you can't be disappointed with how this first 45 minutes has gone. A little fortunate on the whole penalty situation. Your individual quality shines through on the goal. Sometimes on the road, that is a very, very good recipe for success.
Chipped over the top, looking for Cabral, but Vitiello right there on the edge of the box to catch it. Ahead, maybe one more chance for Sac Republic.
Lopez so comfortable, so unhurried in that attacking midfield spot.
Kerr tries to get a little 1-2, nicely done for Timmer. And now Timmer takes a tumble. Somehow gets away out of the corner. Cicerone try a little back heel. Timmer tries to cross, but nowhere to go as he's dispossessed. And a 1-0 for the first 45 is where we stand in Phoenix.
Hard not to imagine there'll be a few more chances coming in this second 45. Opportunities or near ones coming on both ends. A bit of set piece magic from Roro Lopez. A fun first 45 and change.
It's 1-0. Sacramento Republic is the lone unbeaten in the Western Conference. So far, 45 minutes away from keeping it that way over the defending champion Phoenix Rising. We got halftime coming up on May the 4th. Boba Fett can't believe what he's seen so far, as we will be right back.
Huh. How long have you been tracking our car's value with Carvana?
Just like 7 months.
Should we sell it?
We hold.
Hold.
Silver vans are going for more right now. Should we?
Our low mileage is paying off. You think we should?
Hold.
Depreciation's really heating up. You think? We just did 2.5%.
Hold. Now!
I'm on it.
Already sold to Carvana.
Go to Carvana and track your car's value today.
Quench your thirst and save big at Circle K, America's Thirst Stop. Soda 12-packs are 2 for $12 or 3 for $15. Select 24-pack bottled water cases are 2 for $7 or 3 for $9. And don't forget to grab one of our famous Polar Pop cups that stays cold longer, starting at just 99 cents. Only at Circle K, your one-stop shop for all your thirst needs. See store for details.
Get free checking at Arizona Financial. Plus, get $200 cash when you open your new checking account. There's no catch, no minimums, just 100% free checking, including free identity protection, built-in security features, and 24/7 mobile banking. Your financial future has arrived at Arizona Financial. Get the tools, security, high yields, and free checking you want, including free identity protection. Open your new checking account today and receive $200 cash. Visit arizonafinancial.org/free.
USL Championship Week 9, and it's 1-0. Sacramento Republic leading in the Western Conference Final rematch over Phoenix Rising, 1-0. Got one more break coming. We got some halftime stats and highlights on the other side of this break.
You'll get it done.
When termites show up, so do we. Terminix it.
They're hungry for the women's game. They want to see women's soccer. They want to play women's soccer, and that's what we're building at the USL. You can see it in my eyes. Only want the best. Rebounding every night. Won't settle for less. Got me looking to the sky. Got me feeling blessed. Got this fire burning up inside of my chest. Burning up inside of my chest. Got this fire burning up inside of my chest.
Pain doesn't care who you are or why you hurt, but pain can be mastered if you know the way. Fight back with Tiger Balm's legendary herbal power. Trusted for over 100 years, our proven blend of camphor, menthol, and essential oils tames pain with the strength and speed of the tiger, so that you can rise above pain and get back to living. This is the way of the tiger.
Distance, oh, what an effort, and it's special. Machoma fires, oh!
Looks great.
When termites show up, so do we. Terminix it.
Phoenix Rising are your reigning national champs, and they're fired up for the 2024 season, so come witness it. Watch your United Soccer League champs take on Miami FC. Saturday, May 18th at 7:30, right here in Central Phoenix off 38th Street in Washington. And only 5 light rail stops from downtown Phoenix and Tempe. Tickets start at just $15. Go to phxrisingfc.com to buy your tickets now. Kickoff Saturday, May 18th at 7:30.
Welcome back in 38th Street and Washington in Phoenix. Killian McClatchy, Joe Lowry here for the USL Championship. 1-0. Sacramento Republic leads Phoenix Rising here at the half in a Western Conference Final rematch between two clubs, two very competitive clubs. The lone unbeaten left in the Western Conference, and Sacramento Republic is continue on with halftime. And Joe, I know it's your favorite part of the year is the Open Cup continues this next week with a round of 32. Many fans will be focused on the USL versus MLS matchups. There's a great history of cup sets when USL teams have pulled off those big-time upsets.
Mertz again trying to play in Dikwa. Dikwa's in behind. Dikwa's open the scoring.
Chest it down. Oh, that is spectacular. It's a cup set for Union Omaha.
Kassim cutting inside. And there it is. Cup set magic in the air tonight. Saved by Viniello. Rodrigo Lopez. It's improbable. It's indomitable. It's another cup set.
Here's what we got coming up next week. We got San Jose and Oakland Roots. San Jose picking up a win in the MLS earlier today. And then big one, Phoenix heading all the way out to Raleigh, North Carolina, taking on North Carolina FC. The other one in that group, Seattle Sounders FC in Louisville City. That's going to be an excellent match on the 8th. Union Omaha, Sporting KC. Some really good matches coming in the round of 32.
Yeah, that group for Phoenix Rising with North Carolina, Seattle, and Louisville. One of the absolute toughest as we step into the round of 32. Those games will start on Tuesday, carry over into Wednesday as well. There really is a great history of cup sets, one of the great tournaments in American soccer. Sac Republic, not on this graphic, but they made it all the way to the final in 2022, taking down MLS foes and Phoenix Rising along the way.
Reminder, all round of 32 matches will be available to stream on uslsoccer.com. Continuing on with halftime, we'll be right back from Phoenix. 1-0, Sac Republic.
You came looking for a light beer. And you found gold. Modelo Oro. The light beer with a smooth, elevated taste and a clean, crisp finish. Perfect for those who never settle for less than they deserve. Modelo Oro, the gold standard of light beer.
Your health shouldn't depend on where you live, which language you speak, or the size of your paycheck. Everyone deserves access to high-quality care for a healthy life. At Equality Health, we partner with primary care providers to break down barriers to care and build healthy communities. Better health for all, the real game-winning goal. Equality Health is the season-presenting sponsor of the Phoenix Rising and proud sponsor of the Rising Community Soccer Clinics.
We're Carvana, the company who invented car vending machines and buying a car 100% online. Now we've created a brand new way for you to sell your car. Whether it's a year old or a few years old, we want to buy your car. So go to Carvana, enter your license plate, answer a few questions, and our techno wizardry calculates your car's value and gives you a real offer in seconds. When you're ready, we'll come to you, pay you on the spot, and pick up your car. That's it. So ditch the old way of selling your car and say hello to the new way at Carvana.
Well, it's finally happening. The robots. They're coming.
Hi, Amory.
Maybe that's a good thing.
She said what? She said, what? I was ready like a full 20 minutes before you. What are you talking about? It drives better than you do, babe.
It does. Bye, robot.
Tonight's broadcast of Phoenix Rising FC is presented by Equality Health, by Carvana, and by Northern Arizona University. Equality Health halftime, a 1-0 Sacramento Republic on top of Phoenix Rising through the first 45 minutes of action here. Killian McClatchy, Joe Lowry as the clubs starting to get ready to come back. As we're going to start off, we're going to give you the first half highlights from tonight presented by your Desert Ford dealers. An interesting start. Phoenix thought that they had a 1-0 lead early in the match.
And there's still a little confusion about what exactly happens on this Carlos Armenakis penalty kick. Initially, we thought it might have been his momentum stopping as he prepares to take the kick. On that clip, it looks like it might have been Giulio Doratioto encroaching inside the 18 that results in the re-kick. Armenakis goes for the same spot, ends up putting it just wide.
Roro Lopez, though, in the 33rd, a touch of class. A little curler off the right foot, gets it past Rocco Rios Novo. One of the legends of the Indomitable Club puts his club up 1-0.
Yeah, Rocco Rios Novo sees that one late. Coming to his right, it's a great strike from Rolo Lopez, putting his side up 1-0.
Now we got our stats presented by Gateway Community College. Here it is. It's been pretty even, Joe. It's really, you think it's more fair to say, yes, it probably should be a 1-1 match, or at least just tied in some sort. But it's been even. It's been a dead heat both ways. But Sac Republic, one touch of class. That's all you need.
Yeah, and you can flip it around the other direction. That Armenakis penalty kick goes in the back of the net. That one counts as 1-0 Phoenix Rising. Sacramento then maybe feel a little disappointed with the scoreline going into halftime because this game has been so even. Now it happens to be 1-0 Sacramento. It really feels to me, Killian, like there are a few, not just half chances left in this game, but real legitimate chances. I'll be surprised if this one stays at 1-0 for too much longer.
Well, you look at some of just the trends. If you look back, you know, Sacramento Republic, we mentioned they're unbeaten. They're unbeaten in their last 8 when they score the opening goal. Last time they lost.
2023 playoffs, absolutely.
There you go.
Killian.
There you go. I was waiting for you to see if you had it. But as we've now got our Western Conference standings presented by Peoria Nissan, here it is. As we said, Sacramento Republic alone unbeaten there at the top. New Mexico United, a sneaky season so far, sitting all the way up there in second with those 16 points. Phoenix Rising, they're kind of just crawling their way back up, sitting right where they usually did all of last year.
Yep.
Find your way into the playoffs, and anything can happen.
Yeah, there's opportunities for Phoenix, and picking up 3 points tonight would be massive as they continue to push up the standings in the Western Conference. There's plenty of time still for this Rising team to get to its full and final form, but we're not quite there yet. I think Danny Stone would be the first person to tell you that.
And New Mexico United currently a 2-1 lead over Las Vegas at the half. They're in Vegas, so real good match going on there. The only 2 going on the West Coast. One more still going as Monterey Bay and Indy 11 still rocking and rolling. They've got a couple minutes left there in that one, as we've got 1-0 here in Phoenix as the Cubs are back out. They've switched ends. Fresh 45 coming your way in this second half. So, Joe, we'll kind of go, what are these two clubs? Obviously, Sacramento with this 1-0 lead. We'll start with Phoenix. You don't get the penalty, then you miss it. You give up the goal on a free kick. Where do you think this team stands, and what do they got to do?
Yeah, for Phoenix, you know, we're seeing out there right now Carlos Armenakis having a chat with the referee, still maybe trying to parse out what exactly happened on that penalty kick moment. For Rising, it's about how do they unleash Armenakis, and for Armenakis, it's about how does he get on the ball. Phoenix Rising, just 17.5% of their play coming through that middle vertical strip of the field, 40+% on both sides, and that ties into what we talked about earlier. Phoenix Rising have been very cross-heavy through the early stages of 2024. Tonight, it's about not hitting so many of those crosses. Yeah, you can go and target Edgardo Rito into the depth on that right side for Rising, but then how do you find clever cutbacks into zone 14? Or how do you find players in the box with balls on the floor? Sacramento so far have done a better job of hitting their key of protecting their own box and protecting Vitiello than Rising have done it at knocking theirs out of the park.
Huddled up, ready to go. These fans, they let off the flares and the smoke bombs after the penalty that was taken off the board. They had to sit on their hands for a majority of that first half. Besides that, certainly going to be hoping to get a chance. Let Danny Vitiello hear it as they've switched ends. The whistle is off, and we are back underway in the second half to wrap up week number 9.
I really am keeping a close eye on Panos Armanakis. You see him closing down the ball there. How does this Rising team get him engaged? They need that little touch of quality. Emil Cuecho had a rough first 45 minutes on the opposite side. A few sloppy touches. He does a great job of earning that penalty. How can Rising work their possession through their right side with Rito and Panos and then take advantage of runners coming in off the left?
I've seen a couple prodding passes up that right side in these first opening seconds of this second half.
Sacramento still in that same defensive shape, willing to drop their line of confrontation, with Trevor Ammon leading that line closer to the midfield stripe. I wouldn't be surprised if we see more of that throughout the second 45.
Well, 1-2 to Cuecho. Cuecho on the left foot, and he crosses that one over the top of goal, but out.
Well, that's the kind of stuff we're talking about, Killian, in terms of not playing those aimless crosses. It's been too much of that through the opening stages of 2024 for Phoenix. They're cross-heavy in the final third, the 4th most crosses in the USL coming into tonight. They're not especially dangerous when they target those wide areas. It's the space that Sacramento wants to give them. Phoenix have to do more to break out of that space and into central areas.
Bouncing ahead, Rios Novo going to have to leap up as Traore, a little hip check, making sure Ammon can't get near that ball. Mentioned how Sacramento Republic hasn't lost in a match since that Western Conference final last season. You look back, Phoenix, on the other hand, when giving up the first goal, they haven't won since that night. As Roa Lopez trying to get it to his left, as Ali Fuenmayor does a nice job as he and Lopez battle it out on the edge of the 18.
And Lopez at 36 doesn't necessarily have the burst and probably never had the strength to go toe-to-toe with Fuenmayor, who's not the tallest option on the right side of that trio for Danny Stone, but is physical in the back line.
Dorotioto to Renzo Zambrano. He's been quiet in the midfield. There's a bit of a misplay by Armanakis.
You can see the intent, though, early of trying to find Panos in those half spaces. Zambrano looking for him. We're seeing Julio in the back three look for him, check, and sort of scan for where Armanakis is in that right side, that right half space.
A late challenge coming as Rito down. Now Fuenmayor and John Stenberg coming over to have some words with Lee Desmond.
It's the second time Edgardo Rito's been on the ground for more than a few seconds tonight. Desmond extends that leg, comes in late on Rito.
Rito comes over, gives a pat on the back of Desmond.
Horizon, though, these are the kinds of things that you want to move quickly through. You see Armanakis rush to get the ball back in play. Phoenix have to build some momentum. They always were in this match in the protagonist chair, but certainly are in this second half down a goal.
Going over the top, was looking for Asokar. Stenberg pushes off Ammon, but Lopez laid off all the way to the far side. Cicerone.
Lopez just so smooth to pick up the ball, to continue the play. Ammon can't cleanly collect that initial ball from Sacramento, but Lopez is right there to pounce on it.
It's a slight hum, if anything, in this stadium right now. These fans just waiting for anything.
Azokar trying to give it to him, coming in off that left side. We'll see more of him drifting in the second 45, a right footer playing on the left wing. When we've seen him out on that left side with Erickson Gallardo at different times earlier this season, we'll see them swap spots, and the winger will become the outside, really the wing back threat, and Azokar will float inward to find the game, somebody who likes to be on the ball. Almost a number 10 in a wing back's body at this point for Danny Stone.
Armanakis gets the ball to his feet. Starts to bring it through, laid off. Cabral. Cross touched up and out for the first corner of the second half. First Carvana corner kick. Carvana will drive you happy. Mentioned we've seen it already once off of a corner. The captain Stenberg scored his first goal off of a situation similar to this on this end. Armanakis waits for the AOK. As Booking, one of the bench players for Phoenix, just picked up a yellow card. Formella was the man who just got booked. Armanakis back post trying to find Stenberg. Can't get it all the way through to him as nothing comes of it. Armanakis touches down. Fuenmayor tried the back heel, but he overran it.
I like the idea there from Phoenix. A clever touch there from Armanakis. Fuenmayor getting forward. Not something he does always, but not something he's completely foreign to either.
Cabral, left-footed shot. Weird little in-between hop as Vitiello will slowly crawl towards it.
Quisio looking for more out there after scoring that winner last year against Sacramento. Still maybe got that taste in his mouth on that left footer. Doesn't test Vitiello though. A lot of time elapsed on those dead balls. Folks on the ground. Get a look at Jared Timmer there, feeling something in that left leg. Not a lot of chances for Rising to build a rhythm. Killian in the second half, about 8 minutes in now. Got to get their foot on the ball. Got to continue to move it in possession, work it into the half spaces, engage Remy Cabral, who I do think grew into that game in the first half. Trying to find his feet in central spaces is going to be crucial.
Quayshow, the man, picks up a yellow card as Timmer a little slow to get up after that challenge.
Quayshow, no stranger to the referee's book. At this point, picked up that red in Tulsa not too long ago.
Certainly not one that you want to be on.
No.
It's like finding yourself on a list of the Huts. Definitely don't want to be on that one either.
How many more of these do you have in the chamber? I'm impressed.
We'll see. I might have a few more. Nice ball played through. Sent in, but just out of the reach.
All I'm saying, if we see Emil Quayshow and Carbonite, I'm going to have some questions for you.
Still have a little bit of time left in this evening.
Again, Lopez doesn't get to that ball, but almost reads John Stenberg's pass before John Stenberg knows where he's sending that pass. So crafty, so smart positionally, the Sac Republic legend.
Long run, all sorts of space as Fuenmayor just steps in and quells the danger.
And this is the time to go. If you're Phoenix, we see Luis Felipe dropping into that left-sided center back spot. There was an opportunity to counter with numbers there.
Cabral nearly got in behind. Nicely done, though, holding off. Strong man in the center, Connor Donovan.
Just not enough tempo in those transition moments for Phoenix. We've seen that on both sides of the ball tonight. Opportunities for more speed and more numbers getting forward at pace.
Lopez waiting. The goal scorer tonight off the free kick. Gonna try again, and that one rocketed just past the top corner. There's a little juice left in those legs.
A heck of a strike there from Roro Lopez. Puts that right foot through it. Over the bar, though. Not threatening for Rocco Rios Novo. It's great play from Remy Cabral. Finding Emil Cuello. That's more of the hold-up play and the man underneath that Phoenix have needed tonight. That's good positioning off the ball to then get on the ball from Emil Cuello.
Ortiotto. Fuenmayor. It's his third game back this season, coming back from injury over the offseason. His way back. A little off-season surgery. Certainly glad to have Ali Fuenmayor back and healthy and available in the starting 11, despite all of the options that Danny Stone has on the back line.
Yeah, hard decisions for Danny Stone each and every game with that 3 center back look. It's part of the reason why it's been so hard for him to go to the back 4, because he has so many promising options in the middle.
Rito stops and turns, trying to get around his defender, and he can't. As Ammon shoved from behind and played all the way back towards Lee Desmond.
And there's pressure there from Julio, but not coordinated behind him, whether it's Cuello, whether it's the weak side defenders pinching into midfield. Let Sacramento out of that pressing trap a little too easily. And I do sort of wonder, Killian, we talked in the first half about Emil Cuello is in this team to really help lead the press from that left-sided half-space spot along with Remy Cabral. We haven't seen a whole lot of really coordinated defensive pressure from Phoenix, really all season, but certainly not for the first 56 minutes tonight. I wonder when Danny Stone, down a goal, looks at his bench and tries to maybe make a change in that left half space.
Sent down in the middle, Zambrano. Turn of the ball at his feet, back to Cuello. Asokar has to wait up now, turns on the Jets, has a little bit of space. And they're going to say it was actually out of touch. And here's look. Rising nice enough to give us a few to don at the open. The black, the red. You can find them at the Rising store this week and next week's match.
Just excited to have been here for the dawn of Killian's modeling career. It's a real joy for me. It's a true honor.
You say it's the dawn. Who's not to say this isn't? This could be the peak. That's all I'm saying.
I think it might be the peak, Killian. I do think that's.
I think that's far more likely than the dawn, personally.
Well, I was thinking maybe both.
Or for all we know, it could be the twilight. Lopez finding Ammon.
There's that first time we've seen John Stenberg maybe miss on one of those moves into midfield.
Lopez, little 1-2, nearly got it right back to him from Cicerone as Cicerone takes down Julio, and he's going to go quick. This is what you've been saying. Try to get a little more of this as Cabral. I'm sure anybody was really paying attention to that one.
No, and that's great play from the youngster in midfield, Julio Duratiotto, to move quickly to get the ball back in play. There's not time to waste in the second half for Phoenix. We talked about earlier on tonight, Sacramento have the best defensive record in the entire USL Championship. They've been absolutely phenomenal against the ball, allowing just 5 goals coming into tonight. They're giving up just over half of a goal per game. There's not time to waste on those restarts. Remy Cabral, though, not really ready.
Looking at the peak. Like I said, it might be the twilight.
This is, I mean, Killian, to be fair, this is pot calling kettle black there as far as I'm concerned. You look great.
I mean, so do you. Listen, let's not joke ourselves. We both look great as we got some subs coming on. Fede Varela coming on. Gabby Torres as well for Phoenix Rising as Quaisho will make his way off. Well, as Panos Armanakis coming over to say hi to Gabby Torres, get some instructions, as Azo Carr will be the man making a change. So some fresh legs for Phoenix Rising, a goal down.
An opportunity now for Phoenix with Fede Varela in that half space. Not the quickest option off the ball, but somebody who can thread through balls forward, who can pick a few locks along with Panos Armanakis in that same attacking midfield line. It's a more aggressive attacking substitution from Danny Stone.
Well, a good turn. Ball goes nowhere, though.
Just not quite on the same page tonight with some of those little balls into midfield through the center.
Here's Varela. Second touch of the night. Chipped ahead. Rito trying to run in, but too far out of reach as Vitiello comes in to snag that one and get it right back into play. Stenberg misplays. 2-on-1 coming forward. Cicerone lays off Ammon. Ammon has to wait for it. Left-footed shot. One-handed save, but not out of danger just yet. Right foot slipping on the shot attempt and finally cleared out of the 18 as Phoenix can breathe a sigh of relief.
What a save. That is from Rocco Rios Novo. A rocket from Trevor Ammon.
And now a booking as Luis Felipe picks up a yellow. John Stenberg picks up a yellow.
It's a left-footed laser there from Trevor Ammon. He can score with his right, his left, or his head. Great save, though, from Rocco Rios Novo. And then we see Luis Felipe coming in on Mo Traore. Felipe ending up with a yellow.
Traore still a little slow to get up. Landed heavily on that shoulder and is starting to make his way to his feet. Looks like he is okay. Roney coming off. Well, Kieran Phillips, the Huddersfield, England native, currently on loan from Huddersfield Town, who fell today. Ipswich Town going up to the Premier League. If you can't watch the match, be sure to turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern. Plus, you can hear live matches from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XM FC 157 and the new Sirius XM app.
Yeah, these substitutions from Mark Briggs changed the shape for this Sacramento side, getting Rafael Jauregui into midfield, pushing Kieran Phillips, who had 2 goals to win the game for Sacramento last weekend against Loudoun United. It's now more of a 3-5-2, a 5-3-2 defensively for Sacramento. What does that mean? Well, that allows the outside center backs for Phoenix Rising, and we're seeing it there with Ale Fuenmayor, to push higher up, because now there's a 3v2 advantage in the back for Phoenix. And then it allows the outside attacking midfielders, whether it's Fede Varela, as we're seeing him on the ball now, or Panos Armanakis on the weak side, to turn and face forward outside of that midfield block.
Armanakis working his way ahead. Rito tries the low cross, deflected down though. Fuenmayor, low bending cross. As Traore has to wait and just heads it all the way back to his keeper.
The other direction though for Mark Briggs maybe allows them to be a little more defensive, getting one more pure central midfielder on the field, but it also gives them the front two, going the other way in Phillips and Ammon, 2 players that have proven in this young season that they can score goals. It changes the defensive dynamic for Rising as they try to keep Sacramento pinned in.
Fullmayor to Armanakis. Let him get to his left foot, crossed in. Out and away from danger. We've already seen with this change in shape and formation for Sacramento Republic, Phoenix already kind of poking and prodding a little bit more in the box.
Yeah, we're seeing the outside center backs, especially Fullmayor, push up higher. There's a clear lane for him now. My question for Phoenix is, how do they find the space on the weak side? Right, this 5-3-2 shape is an inherently narrow defensive formation through the middle. Yes, you see those outside center mids go wide, but there's space if you can circulate the ball quickly from side to side to find that playmaker on the weak side.
Or turnover, but not going to come of anything for Sac Republic.
This Sacramento team just looks comfortable right now. Mark Briggs makes the couple of changes. He's dropping that line of confrontation a little bit deeper. We don't really expect to see the Sacramento team press a ton as long as they stay in the driver's seat in this game. Phoenix continue to have to dig deep to find some sort of tempo and to look for something a bit more creative in the final third than maybe a cross in the box from Ale Fullmayor.
25 minutes left. Laid through, a little 1-2, Cabral, flag stays down, Cabral chips it, and it's in! How about that from Remy Cabral?
What a strike that is from Remy Cabral, in the right place at the right time. A veritable skill for the best center forwards in any league in the world. Picks up his head, picks out a spot outside of Danny Vitiello's reach. It's a clever, composed finish from Remy Cabral. Phoenix Rising have drawn themselves back level. It's 1-1 at 38th and Washington.
A rare mistake from this Sacramento Republic side. Just about everybody on the visitor side thought that the offside flag was going to go up, and it never came.
It's a misplay in the back from Sacramento. As you said, Killian, we don't see those kinds of mistakes from them. We don't see those lapses of focus either with or without the ball very often from Mark Briggs' side. A huge opportunity now for Rising to continue to push their foot down on that gas pedal.
Such as a Vitiello was almost out at the penalty spot for that one as Cabral picks up his 6th goal on the year. He was up for Player of the Month across the championship. Starting off May on a high note.
Phoenix Rising now back in their own defensive shape. Curious to see how they deal with this new front two from Sacramento. Can't allow themselves to get pulled around by that two forward front.
4 goals in his last 3 matches. The MLS Next Pro Golden Boot winner Remy Cabral. It's a brand new match. Laid ahead, Sacramento Republic. It's a huge tactic shift. We saw it. Seems content to kind of lay back, change the shape, but now you allow the goal and you got to go right back on the offensive.
When you feel so comfortable if you're Sacramento, and who can blame them, right? Coming into this season, so few goals allowed. Killian, you mentioned it in the first half, just 3 allowed with Danny Vitiello in net. Just 3 goals allowed as a team after the very first match weekend of the season. This is a Republic team that has every right to feel confident and comfortable in what they can do against the ball.
This one crossed in, bodies on the ground, not fully out of danger. One touch off the volley, but nothing there. Cabral plays it ahead, trying to get going on the counterattack. Chipped forward. Rito has to wait up for the ball, unable to keep it in stride. As Armanakis trying to fall back at the feet of Cabral, watches it go right around him, and now Cabral watch that one roll harmlessly out of touch.
Almost like flipping the switch. Sacramento back in their defensive posture. They do an incredible job getting back into that play after the Phoenix Rising counterattack. Good interchanging and good interplay between Remy Cabral, Panos Armanakis, and Rito stepping forward on that right side. Sacramento, though, do enough to get numbers back behind the play.
Coming in, the freshman on, Kieran Phillips, mentioned scored a brace last time out. Helps Sacramento take home the victory. Stolen away, Armanakis wants the ball at his feet. Giulio Doratioto. The goal has seemed to reinvigorated this Phoenix Rising side.
Static off the ball right now from Phoenix, content to get back into their structure before they really try to knife their way through this Sacramento defensive shape.
Varela trying to work his way around. Nowhere to go. Nicely done defensively from Timmer.
There's that front two. Letting Sacramento get out on the break. It's Kieran Phillips who does a good job to release that play. Suddenly some of that hold-up burden is off of Trevor Amon's shoulders.
Phillips on loan from Huddersfield Town.
How aggressive are these teams willing to be? Sacramento pushing numbers forward, but still keeping good structure in the back in case of a turnover. Phoenix Rising now back in a very compact 5-4-1 shape. Just leaving Remy Cabral forward, as we often see for this Rising team, as the lancer up top. Which team is willing to take a little bit of a risk in the last 20 minutes of this game to push for 3 points? Really, you'd imagine it would be Phoenix Rising playing at home in front of their home crowd. Sacramento still with a chance to extend their lead at the top of the Western Conference with 3 points tonight. Rising, though, haven't really shown this next gear defensively. We see Sacramento with the ball, pretty comfortable to move it around, cycle possession from right to left in their back three. They look okay with that. Phoenix Rising don't have that next gear necessarily on the defensive end. At least they haven't shown it consistently to get forward and pressure as a collective to do the kinds of things that will allow them to really change the tempo and hop all the way into the driver's seat in this match.
Dallas Cabral has to be careful. Substitute getting ready to come on for the visitors of Sacramento Republic as the reigning USL champs Phoenix Rising FC host Miami FC on May 18th. We'll cheer them to victory here at this beautiful stadium here in Central Phoenix. Be there for every pass, every stop, every goal, and every win. Starting at just $15 a seat. There's a place for everyone. Get your tickets at phxrisingfc.com. We are Phoenix Rising. Todos Rojos. No change just yet as a handball and now a shove. Well, there's Sanchez. Hovered over that ball a little longer than Edgardo Rito and blanked.
We're going to see plenty more of that over the next few minutes of this match between now and the final whistle. There's some scrappiness left in this one.
Jonathan Ricketts, the man getting ready to come on for Sacramento at the next opportunity, getting some instruction from the boss.
Cabral frustrated he didn't get that ball from Panos Armanakis. Continues to be active, even out of possession for this Rising squad at the top of their shape.
Zambrano turning a little slip. Rito, or in his side, a corner.
Good opportunity on a dead ball from Phoenix Rising. They've been dangerous, forcing a few loose balls inside Sacramento's 18 tonight. An opportunity for Panos Armanakis to serve one in. Again, keep your eye on that back post, or maybe Look for Remy Cabral peeling towards the front post on this bit of play.
Play it short to Varela. Varela tried to get that one through. Nicely done. To knock it right out of the air. Zaregi. Cabral with his back to goal. Zambrano crossing in. Vitiello right there on top of it.
It's good pressure from Mo Traore to slow down that potential counterattack for Sacramento, allowing Phoenix to get their numbers back behind the ball. Again, Rising okay to sit off and wait for a turnover rather than forcing one.
15 to play in Phoenix. A 1-1. It's been an excellent match so far tonight. And a rematch of the Western Conference final from a year ago. Armanakis waits up for it, lays it for Rito. Crossed in, Cabral settles it down. Took too long. Has to head it back out as Armanakis will scurry away and play it off to the far side of the pitch. Cross back in, Fuenmayor leaps up, but nothing there.
Remy Cabral is going to think about that first touch all night tonight if this one stays at 1-0. Edgardo Rito with a great ball into the box on the play just before the one you're seeing on your screen now. That hopeful cross from Fede Varela, but it's really that first sequence with Edgardo Rito getting forward off of that right-footed ball from Panos Armanakis. Cabral just can't control.
Phillips now plays back to the midfield. One crossed in, but a little touchdown from Rocco Rios Novo.
See him telling his team, hey, take a breath, calm down, we have time, and that's absolutely true. That doesn't, though, give Phoenix a pass to move the ball slowly in possession. Rocco Rios Novo, we know, wants to build that tempo when Rising have the ball, but also not wanting them to concede a sloppy chance and a turnover without a structure in place.
More plays back. Stenberg works his way forward. Armanakis. Back heel for Fuenmayor. Hammond's been battered and bruised tonight. Hasn't found much space. Rios Novo picks it back up. And Joe, I don't know about you, but you know that eFootball 2024 is here.
Go on.
You can live your dream, rep your team, and play as your favorite USL Championship club. Remember, eFootball is free to play, so go ahead and download it now. I'm expecting to have plenty of conversations next week about how your USL Championship side is doing.
Oh, we're going straight to the title. We're winning the Open Cup, we're winning the USL Championship trophy.
Pulling the double, huh?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We're going to force our way into the Jägermeister Cup down in League One. It's going to be glorious.
You just love anything the word cup in it, don't you?
Anything for the trophy case. I'm not above buying new shelves for a trophy case, Kim.
I love that mentality. Couple more subs for both sides. Lawrence White coming on for Ale Fuenmayor, trying to work him back. Get that minute count up for him. As Armanakis comes off for Formella.
White was one of two Phoenix Rising players who didn't travel across the country to take on Rhode Island FC last Friday. A little bit of a knock picked up earlier in the week. Nothing serious. White and Jose Andres Hernandez back fully healthy.
Now a poor pass intercepted. As Traore stepped in front. Sac Republic player still down. Cabral, back heel, goes nowhere as Rito tries to come in and clean it up.
That's great pressure from Fede Varela in the counter press.
Cabral trying to find some space to go with it. Decides to lay it off to White, getting involved in the attack. White gets it right back to his foot, crossed in, but nobody's there as a remain a throw for the home team.
That's great defensive intensity from Phoenix Rising. We haven't seen nearly enough of that tonight. Just 10 minutes or so remaining in regulation before we hit some stoppage time to close out this second half. That's the kind of energy that Danny Stone's going to want to see.
We're starting to see the physicality pick up in these last couple minutes as both these clubs start to pressure a little more to try to find a winner.
And with Formella on in place of Panos Armanakis, it ups that physicality meter just a little bit more for Phoenix Rising. Fede Varela shifting over to the right side. Formella coming in on the left. He'll play underneath and just outside of Remy Cabral. Another option on balls into the box from wide areas for Phoenix.
Throw-in went right to John Stenberg, so a poor turnover allows Phoenix to try and reset. White on the fresh legs.
Rito's been bright tonight on that right side. He's been on the end of some tough physical challenges, but continues to probe, continues to look for an opportunity to go direct.
Varela receives that one from Formella, but nowhere to go with it. Near side, Ricketts.
So hard if you're Phoenix to stay focused on the defensive end when you know you need to continue pushing on the other side of the field. Still against a team with as much quality as Sacramento have, you can't afford to have any mental lapses on the back end.
Ricketts turns and lays off, gets it right back to his feet. Some miscommunication as he sends that nowhere. Lopez opened the scoring in the 33rd off of a free kick just outside of the 18. Sac Republic the 1-0 lead, and then Remy Cabral in the 66th. Little bar down to level it at 1-1.
Lawrence Wyke there getting forward from his right-sided center back spot. Not afraid to venture into the attack. We've got some fresh legs as well.
Oh, nice ball threaded through. Formella right in the center. I'll lay it ahead, Wyke. Nicely done with some space now on the near side. Wyke steps on the ball. Goes right back. Strong cross and far too strong as it goes nowhere. It's out for a goal kick.
That's poor from Renzo Zambrano. Phoenix continue to target those wide areas, but also continue to lack real ideas in certain moments. Wyke getting forward, it's good positioning from him. Zambrano comes over to support, but it's too early on the release, or at the very least, there's too much on that ball across from Zambrano.
Stoppage as Julio Doratiotto. It's like a little slow to get up.
Maybe just a cramp in one of those legs. Done a lot of hard running tonight, Julio Doratiotto.
Exactly that, as they're coming to stretch him out. The USL Championship is on CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. Catch live matches and expert analysis every day on the CBS Sports Golazo Network and on ESPN+. Go to USLChampionship.com for the complete USL TV listings. So Joe, a topsy-turvy one here tonight. Phoenix earns a penalty early in the first half. Armanakis slots it home. It gets called back. He misses the second attempt. Republic answers right back with Roro Lopez's goal. Sat that way for most of the evening until Remy Cabral in a bit of a just confusing play. There's one more look from it. It just looks like Sacramento, everybody just kind of eased up. Vitiello out. You see him all the way there at the penalty spot. Thought there was offside. Flag stayed down, and it ended up 1-1, and that's where we are now.
Yeah, Vitiello so far forward because he expects to be in build from Sacramento. Had stepped forward earlier on in that sequence. Phoenix end up with the ball back in a dangerous position. Vitiello too aggressive off of his line. Just a miscue in the back from Connor Donovan. The ball's in the back of Sacramento's net.
So Dorotioto going to come off. JT Skiers will come on. Skiers, the Arizona native. Rito is 4 minutes left, plus anything added on.
We're now seeing Renzo Zambrano drift into some of those spaces where Julia was occupying just a few moments ago as the more advanced to that midfield double pivot. Interesting to see what he can bring a little further upfield.
Sacramento Republic, the last unbeaten in the West. Phoenix trying to change that. Formella chips it up, but nowhere going with that one. Now heavy contact and a foul.
You see Phoenix wanting to get the ball back and play quickly there. The referee brings it back after that collision involving Mo Traore. Ricketts on that far side.
He took the shot and he had a big old smile on his face the whole time. Fede Varela. One of the changes, gets it back to his feet. Wyke, he's been very good in the few minutes he's been on, as plays that one into the near post. Right at Vitiello.
And if I'm Phoenix, I'd rather see a Gardarito be the one on those overlapping runs, a little bit more speed. Sometimes a lot more speed than Lawrence Wyke on that right side, able to get a little bit of separation between himself and his defender. Wyke doesn't bring you quite that same skill set in those final third areas.
Wyke plays it back in quickly.
Rising just trying to find the space, trying to find the gaps in Sacramento's 5-3-2 shape, sometimes looking more like a 5-4-1 again with Ammon dropped a bit deeper.
What some touches, going right back and forth. Rito, right-footed shot, diving to his right is Vitiello making the save. Excellent build-up, but nothing comes of it.
Some real crafty touches there from Remy Cabral, looking for Formella just behind him, and then Rito drops this one back for JP Skiers. Vitiello sees it all the way.
Curry gets ahead to that one. As one more sub will be made for Sacramento. Tommy Aviader. Sanchez comes off.
Sort of a like-for-like sub from Mark Briggs, outside back. Flexible one nonetheless. coming on the field.
Got over this first touch. And from Barcelona. Time in the Barcelona youth system. All played over the top won't matter as the flag is up on the far side.
It's good work from Gabby Torres to hold the line in that left wing back spot. Sharp defensive work from Phoenix off of this long ball from Connor Donovan.
Right back to it, 4 minutes added on. See if we can find ourselves a winner. Ricketts, play to the far side, crossed in, but deflected down, and it will be a corner. And you get the feeling if there is going to be a winner, it's going to be on something just like this, a set piece.
Yeah, there is that inkling right now, Killian. Sacramento in no rush to take this set piece. They don't need to hurry. A point on the road in the Valley of the Sun is not a bad result from Mark Briggs and co. whatsoever. Peak defensive focus here needed from Phoenix.
This one, low cross. White gets ahead to it, sends it high up, and they'll reset. Kerr, the man taking that corner on the far side.
White going over to make sure this one gets back in play a little more quickly. Again, Sacramento okay to let that clock tick.
This one sent in, trying to leap up and snag one out of the air, but unable. Possible counterattack. Rito coming back the other way. Cabral is there, but he is offside.
That's poor positioning from Remy Cabral. Has an opportunity to slip in behind the recovering Sacramento back line. As we see that initial ball in from Jack Gurr. Can't quite make clean contact, but then it's Rito bursting forward. Cabral is in this little two-man game on the near side, but just gets outfoxed there from Sacramento's last line and knows it too.
Yellow too far over the head. He was trying to find the out air.
One or two more bites of the apple. That's all that's left in this one from Phoenix. An opportunity to push numbers forward. Still have to maintain some solidity at the back. But especially now as Sacramento are allowing themselves to get stretched, and that's a poor ball.
Time ticking away in a match, Joe, where you get the feeling that both sides will probably walk away from a 1-1 and splitting, both taking a point away. They'll probably both be upset, but at the same time, you can't be upset with the result if it does stand like this.
No, I don't think so. You'll have wanted more, and that certainly goes from Sacramento having a chance to climb in to a 1-0 lead and giving it up in the second half. But if you're Phoenix, you feel in some senses satisfaction that you have kept this Sacramento team somewhat at bay. Still undefeated Sacramento as things stand now in the Western Conference, the only team out west to claim that distinction. So there's some joy in that if you're Phoenix Rising. At the same time, this feeling that maybe you've left something out there.
And they're trying to weave his way around. Sacramento not done yet, though. A two-man game and a takedown just inside the 18. A big hold of the breath from the fans here in Phoenix, but it will be a goal kick.
See Sacramento build this play down the right side. Good combination, Mo Traore sliding in there on Jonathan Ricketts. Play on.
See if the officials give Phoenix one last shot. And they will not. That is where we will finish up 1-1. A draw and a point for each side as Sacramento Republic remains unbeaten in this rematch of the Western Conference Final from a year ago. Both sides will likely go home tonight with a little bit of a sour taste in the mouth.
Yeah, no doubt about that, Killian. Some things to take and build on from both sides in this match. Remy Cabral continues to be a threat, but also some of his movement off the ball is maybe a microcosm for this rising team. A lot of almost but not quites in this game against Sacramento.
Well, 1-1 after full time here in week 9 of the USL Championship. We're going to take one more break, and we'll be right back to wrap things up for you from Phoenix.
Your health shouldn't depend on where you live, which language you speak, or the size of your paycheck. Everyone deserves access to high-quality care for a healthy life. At Equality Health, we partner with primary care providers to break down barriers to care and build healthy communities. Better health for all, the real game-winning goal. Equality Health is the season-presenting sponsor of the Phoenix Rising and proud sponsor of the Rising Community Soccer Clinics.
Well, it's finally happening. The robots. They're coming.
Hi, Avery.
Maybe that's a good thing.
She said, what? She said, what? I was ready like a full 20 minutes before you. What are you talking about?
It drives better than you do, babe.
He does. Bye, robot.
We're Carvana, the company who invented car vending machines and buying a car 100% online. Now we've created a brand new way for you to sell your car. Whether it's a year old or a few years old, we want to buy your car. So go to Carvana, enter your license plate, answer a few questions, and our techno wizardry calculates your car's value and gives you a real offer in seconds. When you're ready, we'll come to you, pay you on the spot, and pick up your car. That's it. So ditch the old way of selling your car and say hello to the new way at Carvana.
Back in, wrapping things up from Phoenix in a 1-1 draw between Phoenix Rising and Sacramento Republic, as Sac Republic remains the lone unbeaten in the West. Move up 19 points, 5-0-4. Top team in the West, tied with New Mexico now, who's just about to wrap up a 2-1 victory over Las Vegas. As we got some of the highlights from tonight's match, a little bit of a back-and-forth contest. Joe and Phoenix, they thought they had it early on, but the penalty gets taken away.
Yeah, good play down the right side from Phoenix. Emil Cuecho winning that penalty. Panos Armanakis steps up to take, converts the first, but it's blown back. Potential encroachment there from Phoenix Rising. The second penalty, Armanakis goes for that same spot, or tries to, ends up sending the ball wide, and it stays 0-0.
Yeah, Roro Lopez, though, in the 33rd, just pure class right here with the right foot from the veteran.
That's such a great strike from Rodrigo Lopez. Beats Rocco Rios Novo. Not an easy thing to do, as a lot of opponents know, coming here to 38th in Washington.
That's how the first half was, that 1-0 lead, and then just kind of an interesting goal as a whole, as a few opportunities still. Ammon, a big shot, the leading goal scorer for this club. The 66th, Remy Cabral picks up his 6th on the year when everybody was just kind of unsure what was going on.
Yeah, good composed finish from Phoenix Rising's number 9. Leads the team in goals, gets on the score sheet tonight, has been electric in recent matches. Still work to do, but a nice, composed, calm, heads-up finish from the number 9.
And that is where it stands. Remy Cabral, little shimmy. Few shots at the end, a chance here from Phoenix, but just can't find anywhere to go with it.
No, Vitiello not truly tested. Rising didn't create a ton of clean looks outside of that penalty shout from Panos Armanakis. Get the edge in terms of total shots, did a good job for the most part of keeping Sacramento at bay. Maybe their best chance of the night, the ones you just saw, the one from Ammon, and that free kick from Roro Lopez.
final stats brought to you by Gateway Community College. And really, the stats do portray how even of this match was. Cannot wait for the next time these two get together.
Yeah, and that's the silver lining for Phoenix. You feel a bit bitter that you didn't pick up more than a single point at home in front of this crowd. At the same time, it should give you confidence that, hey, we can go toe-to-toe with the best that this league has to offer. We can go toe-to-toe with a team that we know we can beat because we just did it last year in the Western Conference Final.
Certainly, well, a 1-1. Both teams won't necessarily go home happy, but they'll go home content, at least. Phoenix has a long journey across the galaxy. Certainly going to wish they had light speed to get out to Raleigh in their Open Cup matchup on Wednesday against North Carolina FC. Sacramento Republic, they'll head back home and get ready for their clash as the round of 32 is almost here. I want to thank you for joining us here tonight. Big thanks to our entire crew from Bitfire. My partner, Joe Lowry, Killian McClatchy here saying enjoy the rest of your evening. You've been watching USL Championship Soccer from Phoenix, 1-1 between Phoenix Rising and Sacramento Republic.